Hi, good evening everyone. This is Saman Patra. Hope you all doing great. As you know that we have started our initiative called Let's Talk Mental Health, and this is season 3. And today's guest is Brinda Chug, and she is a counseling psychologist and a mindfulness practitioner. So she is going to help us today and going to give her insights on counseling as well as on mindfulness and most importantly self-awareness, because self-awareness is one of the most important factors towards knowing your own potential and how to balance your own emotions and mental state. So I'm just waiting for Brinda to join us. Once she joins, we'll be inviting her. And I'm really sure that you guys are taking insights from our guests who are coming and giving their precious information. And Brinda have joined us, so I'm just going to invite her right now. Hi Brinda.
Hi, Saman. Hello, everyone. Very good evening.
Very good evening to you and welcome to our platform, Brinda. We are really grateful to you that you have come and joined us. So how are you today?
Absolutely fine, though it's a very difficult time, in this COVID and in this pandemic situation. But still,
True.
I guess in this time we need to be more calm and handle the situation in a better way. So I hope everyone is doing
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Brenda, given I've told about your introduction that you were a counseling psychologist, you were a mindfulness practitioner, and today we are going to talk about self-awareness and how it impacts our state of
Yes.
mind and everything. So, before we proceed ahead, I would really appreciate if you can, say a few words about yourself, your journey, when did you started, and everything. A small introduction.
Yes. So, yeah, I started about this counseling psychology 1 year back. And also, I'm a choreographer and I have my own business too. But somehow I felt,
Okay.
helping people is very, very crucial.
Hmm.
And especially in this
Okay.
situation and in our country, especially,
Hmm.
where when we talk about mental health, people are not much aware about it. So they are much concerned
Right.
about their physical health, but not much
True.
mental health. So I think that you are doing a great job where you are spreading awareness, and with the same
Thank you so much.
intention, I just love to help people, so I chose this profession as well.
Thank you so much. So, Brinda, without further ado, I would like to ask my first question to you.
Sure.
How do you think mental health impacts human mind?
A lot. Absolutely a lot, because mental health is about mental wellness. So mental health
Hmm.
includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how exactly we
Okay.
think, we feel, and we act. So it also helps
Right.
determine how we can handle stress, anxiety, depression, frustration, and make the life
Hmm.
choices. So it is absolutely
Right.
very, very important.
Okay. So, why it is important to spread awareness about it? Why do you think it is so important? Because I know that like in India, especially when we talk about there's a lack of awareness, and people don't talk about it. They don't reach out to people, or they don't vent their problems out. But at the
Yeah.
same time, they live with their problems and they get into deep depression sometimes. Anxiety, attacks to them. So this in this kind of scenario, why do you think it is so important to spread awareness?
When we feel sick, when we have
Hmm.
fever, or when we have cold, cough, even the minor things, we talk about it, right? We go to the doctor, we
Yes.
go to the specialist, and we check on that. But what about the our mental illness, our worries, our anxiety? We generally don't speak about it, because if you like, you will often hear anybody saying that, I'm going through a very tough time. I'm not really liking this situation, or some situation I'm
Hmm.
not able to bear it. But if you tell
Right.
them, why don't you see a psychologist? Or why don't you go to a counselor? You might feel better. They will, the first thing
Right.
they will say is, why? Am I mad? Am I not well? So this is a
True.
very big problem over here. They don't understand that even a small factors can, lead you to a deeper problems. So our brain is
Right.
very important, and that is the root of every problem and also the solution. So you must not ignore that.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So, Brinda, I'm going forward to my next question. As you are into counseling, you are a counseling psychologist and all. So, is there any instance which happened with you personally, or maybe you have dealt with a client of yours? Maybe if you would like to share the incident, not the person, but the incident which might have impacted you as a person, not the
Yes,
case, but
I
it impacted you
uh,
as a person.
yeah, of course. I would say that like few years ago, I met a girl who was a
Hmm.
teenager, and this
Okay.
teenagers, they have a very different mindset altogether. They go through a lot of hormonal changes. Due to that, they have different
True.
views and tantrums as well. There are a few things which they
Hmm.
don't understand. They get very confused about. So I met a girl
Okay.
like that, and she was very much troubled, and as well as her parents were, because they took her
Hmm.
to many counselors and gave her medication, but somehow she was not agreeing to take any or doing anything about it. So that time I
Hmm.
tried to help her. I did counseling for her without knowing the
Okay.
psychological or the scientific aspect. Okay, so
Okay.
and within few months, she was absolutely fine and started thinking in a very rational way. And gradually, her
Okay.
life became very smooth, and she became pretty much more obedient. She understand
Okay.
now, the importance of rational thinking, which made me realize actually that yes, I can help someone, and if I can change one life, that's the first step you can take towards the humanity. So that is how I decided.
Absolutely.
We all should.
Absolutely. 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 Absolutely correct. So, Brenda, during this lockdown, we have been, listening and we have been doing lots of sessions with lots of people. And we have a general question to everyone, to all our guests that during pandemic, there are lots of things which impacted the entire humanity. Okay. The entire lifestyle changed, our routine changed, everything
Mm.
changed in, in every perspective, the entire lifestyle changed. So, how was your lockdown? Like, how did you manage and balance your emotions? And how did you help people in during this COVID-19?
Okay, so I might sound a little, different. I won't say weird, but
Hmm.
little different. When this lockdown started, of course, first of all, I was a bit curious to know exactly what kind of virus is this and what is uh, gonna go happen with a lot of mass
Hmm.
people and about the economy. But at the same time, the first thing came to my mind is yes, now I have quite a lot of time. Generally, we are so busy in our life with our everyday schedule and everyday work, and
True.
we don't get much time to be involved with the family or friends or do pursue our passions as well. We don't get so much of time. And suddenly, I had
True.
all the time in my hand, which I felt okay. So this is it. I should not waste any moment, and I should indulge myself to knowing more and more about psychological facts and about various methods of doing the therapy. So I did lot of
Hmm.
studying, and in fact I was very busy during this entire lockdown. And I also tried
Okay.
something different like painting or doing some glass painting, which I have never tried before. And that variety
Okay.
of experience gave me immense pleasure and lot of knowledge, I would say. So, see, a difficult time will come in your life some or the other way. You cannot have throughout a
True.
very smooth sailing life, right? So when the difficult time
Absolutely.
comes, it's very important how you stay calm, think rationally, and do what you haven't done, and to do something which will
Right.
serve the social system. So I try to do that.
Absolutely. Okay, that's really nice. You know, during this lockdown, lots of people said that, you know, like what is going to happen in the future, you know, like everything is
Yes,
going to change and all these things. So, you know, it creates anxiety within ourselves when we think mostly
mhm,
about the future, right? So
absolutely.
a piece of advice which I always personally I give to everyone, that don't think about the future, what is going to happen in the future, you know, after 2 months or maybe 3 months or 6 months. Let's focus on the present, number one, and then we can rejuvenate and we can completely try new things, because when the lockdown happened, we got ample time to,
Yes.
do lots of activities. You know, personally, I started cooking, to be very frank with you.
Yes, yes. And see, I feel change is inevitable. You cannot stop changes.
Absolutely
So we should
true.
act like water sometime. You should acquire the characteristics or the qualities of every element. Like water has a
Hmm.
beautiful characteristics of flowing. It flows, okay, no
Right.
matter what
So life
happens.
also
So
flows.
you move on in your life as well, no matter what happens.
Absolutely.
And gradually you gather knowledge how to cope up with the situation. You can figure it out. You can
Right.
find it with your experience, by seeing someone or by your own experience. You can always figure it out.
Absolutely. You know, you correctly mentioned one thing, to, have patience. You know,
Yeah.
so that is one of the most important thing. Whenever something, very good happens to you or very bad happens to us, we should be patient enough to, understand what, or observe what exactly is happening around. And then we
Yes.
should, act accordingly.
That's why self-awareness is so important. The
Absolutely.
more you
So
are aware, the better calm and composed you will be.
absolutely. So my next question to you is, what is self-awareness, and how can we, simplify it or tell it to everyone in a very layman language, please?
Yes, see, emotional style plays a very important role in our overall well-being. Okay, so
Hmm.
you can often hear people are saying, "Don't be so emotional, be practical." But what exactly they don't realize is emotions are the chemical, equations of our brain. You cannot avoid it. So the better you are aware of
True.
your emotions, the well you can manage it. So you need to be aware and you should not avoid it. So self-awareness is one of them, definitely, which represents how well you
Hmm.
are attuned to your feelings, also physical sensations. So knowing and
Right.
thinking about that and be self-aware is very important for your growth.
True. Absolutely.
Yeah. So today,
Yeah,
I
the
would
voice
like
got
to.
disconnected in between.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible now.
So today, for the
Yeah, please
entire
continue.
audience and for everyone, I would like to give some tips which will help them to build self-awareness. So first of all, I would
Hmm.
like to talk about that everyone should know and their weaknesses. When you know that what exactly is your emotional strength, you can go for it and you know that is your forte. And when you know what exactly
Right.
your weaknesses are, then you can well manage it, you can work for it, right? So that you
Right.
can make it better. So knowing your strengths and weaknesses are something which is very, very important. And the next thing is ask for feedback. Okay. Every time when you talk about feedback, it's not criticism, and nobody takes it very nicely. They feel criticism is
Brinda,
something that.
Brinda, sorry to interrupt you. Your voice and video is breaking actually.
Okay, though from my side it's perfectly all right. Is it fine now?
Okay.
Is it fine for you?
It's getting paused sometimes. The video is getting paused sometimes.
Okay, so do you want me to reconnect once again?
Don't reconnect. Just, you can move your phone or maybe something. You can just tilt a bit and you can start. Just tilt the phone a bit.
Yeah. So, is, am I audible now?
No, it's still yeah, you're audible, but it's breaking up. The voice is breaking up sometimes.
Okay. Let me just
If is it possible for you to change the location? Maybe you can just shift the location where you are right now. If you can change the location, maybe the network can come properly. Hello.
Is it better now?
Yes, it's completely perfect.
Okay, fine. So yeah,
Please continue.
without taking much time, I will continue. So the next thing what I was
Please.
talking about is feedback and listening skill, which is very important.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
criticism, don't take it always in a negative way. Somebody is giving you a feedback, that doesn't mean that he's gonna say something wrong about you. It's just their view, different perspective, and different opinion. So you might get
Right.
different ideas if you open
Mm-hmm.
and if you keep your mind open and if you listen to them without judging them, then you might get to know a
Right.
lot of new ideas. Okay, so ask for feedback and listen carefully. And the third thing is know your emotional triggers. When you listen to someone or
Mm-hmm.
someone is talking to you and that makes you feel a little angry or a bit irritated, try to realize immediately what is the trigger point, what exactly it is, some word or some phrases which is making you feel this way. If you can understand
Right.
that and realize that, then you can work with it in much better way. And another very
Absolutely.
important thing is practice self-discipline. Little bit of self-discipline is really, really necessary. You know, having nutritious
Absolutely.
food, exercise daily, having adequate sleep. These all are very important aspects. You should never lose that. And also
Absolutely.
keep an open mind. Don't have a
True.
mindset, rigid mindset where you set some rules inside your head. Be little open. The more you are open, the more you can accept things. The acceptance quality
True.
will increase if you are open minded. You will listen with much more ease and peace whenever you will listen to others. So keep an open,
Absolutely.
very, very important, and that increases your self awareness a lot. Another thing, try
Right.
new experiences. That really, really helps. Sometimes we are very self bound. I am very good at this, I will do only this. Don't do that. Try new things. That will give you a different pleasure and that will give you a different adventure as well. You will realize a lot of new things by that, and you will
Right.
realize how we are capable of doing different things in the same time. So definitely
True.
try it out. And yes, motivate yourself. Never be demotivated. And a very important aspect in this regard, I would say, we always look for motivation that somebody should motivate us. Okay, we wait for that. We
Right.
often complain like this, like nobody motivates me or nothing motivates me. No, the motivation is inside within yourself. If you want to get motivated,
Absolutely.
just look around you. Listen to a beautiful song, you can be motivated. See a beautiful
Absolutely.
scenery, a beautiful sky, you can be motivated. Okay, so all
True.
these things, always, it's very necessary for you to be motivated all the time. So the positive feelings and the positive thinking will always be there in your
Hmm.
mind. With that, I
Absolutely.
would say challenge your core belief. Now, in this regard, I would like to say one thing, that we have rational belief, rational thinking, and as well as we have irrational thinking too. But we often don't
Hmm.
realize when our irrational thinking is really taking over brain. That is very difficult. We
Hmm.
always say one thing. I expected so much, this much only from him. He couldn't do it. I expected that from him. He couldn't do it. But what we don't understand, expecting something is when you expect, but you also know one thing, that it can happen. It may not happen also.
May not
I will
happen. Yeah.
I will, take it as it comes. If it happens this way,
True.
according to my way, I will be very happy. But if it doesn't, that doesn't mean that I will be demotivated. So when our
Absolutely.
expectations becomes a demand, a core demand, we don't realize that. Realizing that is very, very important, because that will make your life very smooth. You will start thinking rationally, which is very, very
Absolutely.
necessary. And of course,
Absolutely.
journaling. If you can journal, like every day, the kind of emotional changes you are going through, if you can journal, like today, what was the trigger point when you got very irritated or angry? Or what was the
Hmm.
particular thing which made you really feel good? If you journal that daily,
Right.
that will help you about your self-awareness. Being self-aware is, something which comes from within. Being self-aware is
Right.
something where you know what is going on inside your head, what are your body sensations, how your body physically how you are reacting, how you are behaving. All these are, included in self-awareness. So that's why being aware is very,
Absolutely.
very important. And I would recommend one very important thing for self-awareness is meditation. If you can do
Absolutely.
and practice meditation at least 10 to 15 minutes in a day, it really,
Hmm.
really helps, because it helps you to calm your mind. It helps you to being aware of the moment, very present moment. We often think about what has happened in the past and we get so worried, or we think like, oh my god, whether I have saved enough money for the future, or I should have to do this, I have to save a lot for the future. But we miss the
True.
small, small essence of the present moment. What about that? So be
Absolutely.
present. Feel what exactly you are going through right now, whether you are smiling or not, whether you are feeling happy or not, whether the breathe exactly at this point of time, the way you are breathing, are you feeling it or not? Very, very important. And mindfulness meditation, or in that case, any kind of meditation, helps you a
Right.
lot in that. So, to
Absolutely. I would like to add
some,
one thing.
yes, of course.
Yeah, I would like to add one thing. Like most of the people say meditation is a very, after a certain age, we will start doing meditation. It is not for the younger people and all. So, sometimes people say meditation is a very tough thing to do. So a piece of advice from even I would like to say, add on to whatever you told. Before, if somebody is thinking meditation is something tough, so start from the basics. Mindfulness is the best thing to do. And once you start practicing mindfulness, I think eventually a person can, grow and start doing meditations at least from the basic levels.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And whoever thinks that meditation is something which only when you get older you can practice or things like that, let me tell everyone, I have a daughter who is only 5.5 years old, and trust me, she does meditation with me every day. It's only maybe for 5 minutes, but 7 minutes, but she does it.
Hmm.
So it's not about that. See, meditation, I don't know, nowadays people take it in a very difficult way that is the way of going to some nirvana or things like that. It's not that. Even you can do a
Right.
simple breathing technique, a square breathing where you are aware how you are inhaling and how you are exhaling. By inhaling, you take
True.
all the positive vibes and all the positivity inside you, and by exhaling,
True.
you just leave all this unnecessary worry and tension out of your body and mind. This is a very simple thing, but very, very useful trick.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Brinda, before we leave you and before we, end this session, a final piece of advice from your end to all the audience.
Be self-aware because it is something which is absolutely must. Be present, something very, very necessary. See, being self-aware and understanding how you are perceived by others are important components of personal growth and developing your potential, which you need to understand. Okay, so follow the tips and always be self-aware about what you are doing, how you are thinking, about your feelings, and also about your physical sensation.
So beautiful said. So, thank you so much, Brinda, to give so much beautiful insights, and thank you to all the viewers who are watching us right now. And I'm sure that everyone who is watching, they have taken some or the other takeaways for everyone. And
Thank you very much as well.
thanks to
And
all.
thank you, One Life
Mhm.
Global, because you all are doing an excellent job, I must say. Everybody should
Thank
spread
you.
awareness because that's the only way. Thank you very much and have a beautiful night.
Thank you so much, Brinda, and thank you all the audience who are watching us right now. Good night. Good
Good
day. Bye
night.
bye. Take care.
Bye.